Welcome back to the Small Kitchen of Glory. I am Smoke, and I am in the kitchen. I'm going to make some good old-fashioned homemade bread today. Just simple, beautiful, and delicious. We're going to run through the ingredients. We have a 1/4 cup of softened butter, 6 to 6.5 cups of flour. That's the flour. That's a lot of flour. 2 teaspoons of salt. Beautiful. 2 tablespoons of sugar. 1/2 cup of whole milk. And, oh, shuckles. 2 cups of water. This will be heated up. And 1 tablespoon of Red Star yeast. Buy Red Star. Don't buy that other crap. Jar of Red Star. That's the way to go. That's all that's in bread. I'm going to start by dumping this 1/2 cup of milk into 2 cups of water. We're going to put a tablespoon of yeasties in here. No, wait, no, we're not. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? We need 2 tablespoons of sugar heated up and then yeasties. Heat up it first. I know that. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional who definitely knows how to make bread. 1 tablespoon sugar. This isn't leveled or anything. It's just a rough game. Boom. All right. We're going to pop this in the microwave. We have some beautiful microwave milk water, sugary milk water. We're just going to check the temp real quick. Make sure we're around 115.
118.
Pretty close. Pretty darn close. We're just going to give it a little whisk. That's right. I'm not using my hand like a man. I want it to be nice and frothy and aerated a little bit to give these yeasties a good home. Now we're going to find the yeasties. We're going to put these guys in the water. And we're going to let it sit. Oh, that's a struggle. We're going to let them sit in there for about 15 minutes. Just going to dump them in there. Done with that. Done with the yeasties. We're just going to mix this up. Froth it up. Make sure that the little grains of yeasties. Man, I love the smell of fresh yeast once it hits the warm water. It lets you know you're doing something good. And there's nothing more good than homemade bread. By the way, I'm going to be doing some experimenting. Because every time I make this, the crust is a little bit too thick. So I did some research, and I'm going to do some testing to try and see if I can figure out a way to soften up the crust. I'm probably going to tent one after about 5 minutes of cooking. I'm also going to put a pan of water in the oven to make sure that it stays moist. And the other one, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I might just do the wet paper towel once I take it out. Maybe tent it halfway through with aluminum foil. All right, we're going to let this sit for about 15 minutes. We have some yeasties, which have been eating their sugars and becoming happy. We're going to take this. We're going to dump it right in the old stand mixer. Oh man, that smells good. All right, right now I have the paddle attachment on here, and that is intentional. We're going to use paddle for the first 3 cups, and then we'll be switching to kneading hook. So we're going to raise this up, boop, put her on speed 1. We're going to start putting in flour 1 cup at a time. Just some quick leveling, and quick, a little bit on that side, shake a little bit in on that side. Just let it do its work for a couple minutes. Oh, it didn't like being twisted. All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Mixer. Won't do that again. If you would like to be exact with your flour measurements, you can scrape the top of the cup with the back of a butter knife, just like so. Then you have a nice smooth flour. I'm just putting some in on both sides. It's going to start to put in some work. This next one will be cup 3, and that'll be the halfway point. Doing this with a mixer is kind of like cheating. But man, if you're going to spend a lot of time, it does save a lot of effort having one of these. I've been against it for so long. I still kind of am. Every once in a while I'll still make bread the old way. Take it out and knead it on the counter, but man, this makes life easier. Alright, now before we switch over, we're going to get our butters in. Our softed butter. I'm just going to grab this with my hand. Plop it in there. Grab the other ones. Again, this is half a stick, a 1/4 cup. We're getting this in here. That's pretty much all of it. Now I'm a mess. Now with the butter, I'm going to do a tablespoon of salt. The original recipe calls for 2 teaspoons, but I like a little bit more salt. More salt, more better. That's what they say. We don't need this anymore. We're going to put this on a speed 2 and let it mix this up nice and good. Nice and good. Then we're going to turn her off, drop it down, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. We're going to get this out of here. And we're going to scrape this off with a rubber spatula, just to make sure we get all that out of there. Beautiful, beautiful. And we're going to pop this back on here. We're going to get the dough hook. Right now it's just a goopy mess in there, but that's what we want. Now, man, I can get the dough hook on. I swear I can. I know how to do this. I've done it before. Up, down, lock. Nope. Up, down, lock. Nope. That would have been... You know what? Alright, that's locked on. We're going to turn this on to speed 2, which is our dough hook speed. We're going to do 3 more cups of flour. We're going to pack it a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and scrape it with the back of the knife, just to get it exact. When you're baking anything, you want to get, it's not like cooking, you got to get it pretty much exact. There's a fine process that has to occur for the baking, and you don't really want to mess up your ratios. You want to get everything as close to the recipe. By the way, this recipe I'm using is, I always say Julia Michaels. That's the chick from The Biggest Loser, and the chick who sings music, I think. But Julia Child's white sandwich bread recipe. This is a cup of flour 5. We're just sprinkling it in there while it does its work. I'm going to prepare number 6. And when this is done, I'm going to check it and see, because it's 6 to 6.5 cups. So you don't ever really know exactly how much dough you're going to need for your, or flour you're going to need for your dough. Depends on a lot, the conditions, the humidity, elevation, God knows what else. But there's a whole bunch of things that determine the right level. We're going to go ahead and shake in the last cup here. And now I'm going to let this mix for about 2-3 minutes, and then we'll come back and check it after that. It's got a nice rock going, and we're just going to let this do what it do, and that would be make dough. Alright, we're 2 minutes in. We're going to drop that like it's hot. We're going to check this. It's a pretty loose dough still. Can we just take it out and have a look at it? Why not? Let's see here. We're going to poke it with our finger. It's not really going to spring back at all. So we're probably going to want a little bit more flour. And it's sticking to the dough hook a little bit too much. Let me just reach in here. Yeah, it's sticking to my hands too much too. Yeah, that's not enough. So I'm just going to grab some flour with my hand, yay much, and sprinkle that in there. We're going to put this back on and give it another couple minutes. Let it work that in. It's going to be noisy. The stand mixers always sound like they're about ready to just give up on life when they're kneading dough, in my experience. But you just gotta trust the process, and just let it do its work. Put it on speed 2, which they say is for kneading. We'll give it another couple minutes. All right, we give it another minute. Oh yeah, that looks good. It's a little bit springy when I push in on it. That's perfect. Let's get her out of here. Maybe. Come on, come on, come on, Daddy. Let's just push that off to the side for now so we can get a look in here. Let's see, now this should pull away. Yep, see how beautiful that pulled away from there? There's a little bit stuck, but it comes right off. What we have here is some perfectly kneaded dough. It's probably going to be stuck to the bottom just a little bit, but yeah, it comes right out. That's beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful ball of dough right there. All right, we need to get a bowl oiled to let this rise in. So let's do that. Kaboom. All right, the way I do this, I have a half stick of butter here. I'm just going to run circles on the bottom of this bowl while I turn it. Then I'm going to do circles on the side so you guys can see it. More like that. We're just going to rotate the bowl while we run circles with the butter, just to make sure that when the dough starts to expand and rise up the sides of the bowl, it's not going to grab onto it and impede our rise. We've got a nice, beautiful, greased surface for that. Oh, all right, didn't happen. Now, this is most of the dough. Get out of there. We're gonna put, oh man. Oh, that smells so good. There's nothing more satisfying than just holding a nice big old ball of dough in your hands. You know what I mean? Man, that feels good. Just brings you back. Oh, all right. We're gonna boop. I'm gonna pop that down in there and just flatten it out just a little bit. That's more for my own use. That way I can easily check it to see when it has doubled in size. We're gonna put this lid on this. I'm gonna put this in the oven with the light on for an hour and let it rise. Boom! Look at that beautiful fat boy bread. Fat boy bread! Oh, I'm excited. All right, we're gonna punch this down with the fists. It's been rising for an hour. It's a little bit warm. We made sure to keep the oven nice and toasty for the little yeasties, because that's what they like. They like that heat. All right, now we're just gonna roll this dough out, nice and gentle. Put this bowl aside. Right there works. We're gonna break this in half, so we have two roughly even pieces. Oh, we're gonna ball up each side. That one seems pretty good. I'm gonna ball up this side. That one's a little bit too small. Well, shuckles. It's not good to have to pull extras off. You don't want to break the structure that all that yeast has put all the hard work into. But that was a bad split on my behalf. We got that one, and we got that one. A little bit smaller. I'm gonna take another chunk out. Another one. Smack it into it. There we go. That one feels pretty good. This dough is actually a little bit, maybe just a little bit too soft, but I think it'll be okay. We're gonna have a nice, light, fluffy bread. They're not exactly even, but it's honestly good enough. All right, we're gonna take this, we're just gonna set it in there. These aren't greased yet, so we're gonna grease one of them. What I'm gonna do is just put some olive oil in my old hand, and I'm gonna rub my hand all up in this. Oh, it's slippery. Sweet baby. We want this nice and greased so we don't have no slippage. I'm going to take this guy, put it right there. I'm going to go ahead and put some more olive oil in my hand and just grease this bad boy. What we're going to do is we're going to flatten this out until it's in like a letter shape. We just want to push the dough. Pick it up and just kind of stretch it a little bit. You want to get it roughly the width of the pans. You don't want to manhandle it too much. Just want to kind of flatten it out and stretch it. Nice and beautiful. This isn't going to be perfect here. That's about the size of that one. What we're going to do is fold this in thirds. We're going to press it down, but keep the form and try and not have any air bubbles in it. This wasn't the best thirds, but it's okay. This isn't an exact science now. We're gonna pinch these ends and kind of roll them in to seal the dough, as they say. And then just kind of form it, flatten it out beautifully. We're gonna roll it over, seam side down, take her, pick her up, and put her in a pan, just like so. I'm just gonna kind of flatten it out in the pan a little bit. Just make it all friendly. That wasn't my best bread fold. I'll tell you that right now. Not gonna lie, it's actually pretty horrible. We're just gonna flatten around and it'll be okay. All right, let's take this guy. Oh, we don't wanna bake the olive oil in there. We're gonna give this guy the same treatment. This part doesn't have to be exact. You're just getting the shape ready for the second rise, which is what we're gonna do in the bread pans. Oh man, this is a beautiful dough. Nice and loose, not overworked. All right, let's give her the first fold. How I do this, I fold it up and then working from the seam to the open end, I push it down. Same thing, from the seam to the open end, push it down. Just get her kind of even. We're just gonna fold and pinch these edges, bring it up all around. Fold and pinch the edges. We're just trying to make her pretty here. So we have a nice smooth top. I'm taking this one a little bit more serious after how ugly that last one was. Pick her up, got a nice log of dough, and just drop her in the pan. Just like so, and then just kind of stretch the top and smooth it out so that it becomes beautiful. All right, now we have two breads in pans, both looking pretty good. We're gonna get a towel, just like so. We're just gonna throw the tea towel. Is this a tea towel? I don't know. It's a towel, it's a clean towel, allegedly. We're gonna throw that on there. We're gonna put these back in the oven and let them rise for, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, until we want these poofed up and starting to come over the edge of the pan. And then we'll be set for baking. So I'm gonna let these rise again. And now I wipe down the counter, and this is making bread. It's a lot of waiting. So what we have here is some bread in a pan. The left one, well, no, the right one actually, yeah, it's still a little bit. Left one's bigger. I'm gonna brush some butter on these. Some melted butter before I pop them in the oven. Oh man, that is just buttery goodness. Talk about butter top baby. All right, we're gonna get these in the oven. And it's about 350. We're gonna cook them for about 35 minutes total. It's actually supposed to be 375, but I lowered it a smidge. Get that in there. Push her in, we'll be back in 5. We are 5 minutes in, and we got a crust starting on this. I'm just gonna give it another quick little butter brush. Again, I'm gonna get this aluminum. Oh, tinting this is not fun. It's a little hot, but I think we can manage. So there's that. A pinch and a fold. You, gaga, gaga. You again. That is hot. The key is to have room so that air can release off it and it's not necessarily touching the bread. We don't need it to be absolutely exact. We don't want to completely seal everything. That's beautifully tinted. All right, now we're going to give it the crapola. We're going to give it the rest of the 30 minutes, and we'll be back after that. I'm going to take this off because I put that in the oven before and almost caught it on fire. So we're not going to put the towel in there. So 30 minutes. We got this. We got this. Okay. We got some beautiful bread here. That is a hard loaf here. We're looking for in between 190 and 200 Gaga! For our center temp. When you put it on Fahrenheit. 204 is a little hot. I'm surprised it got so hot so quick. Alright, now this is the fun part. Oh, that is a soft loaf. Ooh, it's a soft loaf. Oh, that makes me so happy. 194. I think we're good there. Yeah, we don't have anything stuck to it. All right, we need to get these out of the pans somehow. I have my cooling rack here. We just want to do a quick example. This is the non-tinted hard. This is the tinted. Look at the difference on that. That is a nice, soft, pillowy, buttery bread. I love that. I know that one is white and one is brown because we didn't get the Maillard reaction on the tinted guy. I think maybe next time I do it, I might tint it, you know, maybe a little bit in, maybe like 15 minutes in. All right, let's clear this off and get these out. Oh crap, there's still a butter there. All right, we need to, oh sweet baby. We're gonna grab this. Put that right there. Bye-bye, pan. It's all gonna be okay. All right, we gotta get these out of the pans. It was supposed to be immediately, but I'm a little bit slow on my immediate. Okay, there's one. Right there. And we'll slide this bad boy over. Come here, Mr. Bad Boy. I'm gonna flip you out. You're softer though, so I have to be more careful with you. Good, perfect release. I'm going to take this one off so I can feel what I'm doing here. There we go. Okay. I need to put these gloves back on, at least one, so I can get rid of these. Now what I have here is a paper towel I've just dampened, and I'm going to wrap. I'm going to pull this over, push it back. That bread is not on the rack. All right, we need to turn the rack this way. Struggle city. Bread. All right, we're going to take this damp paper towel and we're going to wrap this loaf in the damp paper towel to soften up the crust. And now we're just going to let these bad boys cool and do whatever magic happens while they cool. I hope this really works for this crust. I can actually feel it softening up already, so we'll see. It's not dinner time, it's bread time. Bread time. We have a bread knife. You know, I feel fancy when I do that. You know, it's like shing. Aggressively warm loaves of bread. But I want to cut them and just get a little taster doodle of how they turned out. So we're going to cut the heel off of that one. Oh, that's pretty inside. A little bit of an air pocket in there from my fold, but that's to be expected. All right, let's unwrap the wet towel. Oh yeah, that softened up the crust nicely. We're just gonna see which one turned out better. This one smells more like bread. Much harder to get through the crust though. It's gonna be more of a chewy crust. Ooh, that one's pretty. You can still see the fold in there just a little bit, but that's okay. I definitely cut that very straight. Don't worry about my cutting abilities. Put some butter on these. Lots of butter, of course. America. More butter, more butter. I always say it, and I always mean it. All right, there might be like a tablespoon of butter on that. That might be too much. We're going to recycle some of that butter into this guy. Oh yeah. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. The first tented. Still got a good crust on it. That will make a really good sandwich bread. Now we got the paper towel. Very similar crust. You know what? I think I like the paper towel better. You really need that. My lard. Whatever it's called, reaction on the outside. Yeah. Beautiful brown you get. It's really necessary. That is good. So good. Let's have one more check of the tented. Yeah. So the texture on the tented crust is definitely better, but the taste on the paper towel crust is better. So I gotta figure out how to get in between those. I think maybe just tenting it at the end will be a better way to go. That is delicious. All right, guys. I'm gonna go take my breads, one in each hand, and go eat them. But thank you for joining me on my adventure of making Julia Child's sandwich bread. So good, so simple, just time-consuming waiting. And I'm gonna go now. This is so good. It's so good. It's so spongy and delicious. All right, but I need to go. I want to go eat this and get fat. So you're all beautiful. Like, subscribe, all the joys of the YouTubes, and I will see you in the next video. Ta-ta.